Okay, great. Well, officially welcome to the Disability Digest webinar today, how to maximize your disability income. And I'm going to try here, turn my webcam on so you can see my office. I don't know, I think I'm having a little glitch with it, but can you guys see me?
No. Got a fault.
No.
How about that?
Nope.
No.
Darn.
Oh, now doing a little dot.
Yeah, there it is. Cool. Well, it slows things down. If you want to get a look at me and others and my cat and my dog, you can go out to our YouTube channel because there's a lot of action out there, including the pet activity. So good. So anyway, well, thanks for joining and taking time out of your day today. I wanted to do this event because it's an interesting time of year one, and I actually feel, since I've been doing this since 2006, it's the most interesting time for people that are Social Security recipients on disability with the new benefits that have come out. And so I'm going to talk about that. And some of the key things I want to go over today is in response to people that registered for this event. Although it is targeted towards maximizing your disability, there was like 34% of the people that registered for this that haven't been approved yet. So I'm going to cover some directions for you and what you can do to get our assistance for that. I'm not going to go through that here today because that's not the focus of the event. Most of the time I'm going to talk about job and income opportunities, how to maximize your benefits, different benefits that we see out there in the marketplace that are in the Medicare space and in the healthcare, and then answer any questions that you have. That's the plan. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay. So first of all, I just want to get reacquainted for some of you that may not have been tuned into your membership here for a while I try to get this error icon off my screen. I'm going to move it up there. So for the Disability Digest, we have been in business since 2006, and we currently have 163 some odd thousand members. And we provide a free membership. We're like a radio or a TV station where we have ads, sponsors. We provide services, many of the services that are at no cost to you that we generate revenue from. So what that allows us to do is to help you get and maximize your benefits. We've helped over 11,000 people, like just recently we turned directly get their Social Security disability benefits approved. So we understand what cases get approved. We have developed a pretty good understanding of that, and what cases cannot. And a lot of people we've helped do it with just simply using the free disability approval course that we have. So we've done that. Most of this business now is run by people that are on disability, so we understand or have a better understanding of how to help people go back into the workplace. And how much they can make and keep their benefits and what the ideal settings are. So I'm going to share some of that experience with you today. And going through all of this, we've managed to keep a pretty clean Better Business Bureau rating. I think we have 2 complaints since we've started. And I actually know both of those people, so can't please everybody. So that's it. So that's what we have on tap today. And first of all, I want to thank you for being a member and being here. Yes, it is free, and we hope that we provide value in the work that we do. But just the fact that you have, again, taken some time out of your day and trusted us to come out here and look at this information that we have, we certainly appreciate. And I have asked one of our advocates to stop by, even though it's a super busy time of year to working with our members, to kind of share with you some of the work that Christine has been doing to help people increase their income, maximize their check. Like, she's actually in the trenches doing this work. So for those of you that are listening to this and that are not approved, few things that you can do. You can, if you're currently a member, I would suggest that you call or text us, and the number is on the screen. if you started at the initial application, didn't get approved, and are waiting for a hearing, we have a specific course that teaches you what to do and what not to do to maximize your chances of getting approved at a hearing. New information about the doctor's support. So those are the two options for those of you that are currently members here. If you're not a member, please just go out and get a free membership to the Disability Digest, register, enter your information, and we will do our best to accommodate you. So the first thing is, for maximizing your disability benefits, I'm going to go through some tips here and some resources that are easy to use that you can do on your own. And one of them is just simply make sure that you have an email address that is accepting mail from us, email. We deliver updates, information, invites to events like this, and these spam inboxes for most email companies really cause problems for people because they don't get our message. So if you just do a search on the Disability Digest and make sure that that mail is put in your inbox and put us in the address book, that should do it. It's just one simple thing so you can make sure that you're getting our messages. The next thing is for those of you here that are looking for job and income information, maximizing your benefits, and information like that, then I would encourage you to take a look at our Facebook group that we have. And it's targeted and designed just for this, just for individuals that have these interests that are members here. And I'm pulling it up on our screen. And it's a free group. You go in there. It's kind of like a potluck dinner. Anybody ever been to those where you bring something, you get a full meal? That's the concept here. So it's about 60 some odd members in there now, and they're exchanging ideas about different things that you can do to supplement your income, to maximize your income. And if we produce anything that is relative to that content or to that topic, then it's put in there. So for those of you in the audience, are you active? Anybody active Facebook users?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Good. Are you using it, or do you run groups, or?
Just use it.
Just use it? Okay. I know we have a lot of members that come through here that are active in different condition-related groups or support groups. So that's certainly a resource for you. The next one is our YouTube channel. That you can just click on this link and go out there and subscribe. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and get all the information. It's short videos, interviews. Oftentimes, it is success stories from our members about experiences that they have had. Like, for example, there was one just last week from Brian in California who shared his story about how he got on an insurance plan that he went from through the approval process, got on a plan that reduced his out-of-pocket expense that he was paying for private, which isn't surprising. Got all his doctors in network, got a cash back incentive, actually got a dental plan from a reduces dental plan expense. So you can get tips like these. Not all of them are going to be relevant, I expect. It's like anything else. But there might be one or two over the course of the year that will make a difference for you. So I encourage you to take advantage of that. As far as supplementing income, job and income, that's the next category that I want to talk about. Does anybody in the audience out there know for certain how much money you can make and keep your benefits?
No.
No? I was in a meeting yesterday for some candidates that I've applied to work here. Most of them are on disability. And the comments that I read in the interview process from two of the individuals had said almost identical, same thing. Said I consulted my attorney, and they both said that I could earn up to $1,220 a month and keep my benefits. So it's nice that the attorneys were both consistent. They didn't know each other, but they were both wrong. So here's the key thing I want to share with everybody is there's two income criteria that Social Security uses for guidelines. And one is what you can make when you're going through the approval process, and that's $1,220 at the time of this recording. But when you become approved, that amount changes, and right now it's $880 a month. So you can earn up to $880 a month, and that's if you're working as an employee. That's your W-2 taxable income. If you're working as an independent contractor doing something on your own, then that's net after expenses. So there is an opportunity to earn, a fair amount of money, like an extra $10,000 roughly on an annual basis, and have no impact on your benefits. So the key is just to follow the guidelines and make sure you tell Social Security if you're working a job, make sure you tell them that you're working. That's what your award letter says. And if you're doing something on your own, then you're responsible for filing your taxes, of course, like we all are as Americans. They love us to file our taxes. So, and that's it. But, and the regulations are on our website. I don't have them on the agenda here, but if it's something that you absolutely want to see, you can just navigate into, actually I can show you where to find it on this. We have a members area where we have some key information that's stashed, and on the top right-hand corner of every page, you'll see the members area. And then when you scroll down in the members area, there's section 2. It says maximizing your benefits. There's this introduction right here. And when you enter this introduction, it has a video. It's very similar to what I just explained to you. But the real key is below the interview. It's the 2 links to the Social Security website that show you what you can make when you're going through the approval process and what you can make afterwards, so that you can not leave it to, thinking that Brian's got it right. Okay, get back to the show here. All right. So we've talked about reading your email, Facebook, started with job and income. So my feeling with the job and income segment of it and the exposure that I've had to individuals out there is there's a lot of people that would really like to do something. But the challenge is what to do, right? Has anybody had this similar type of thought?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's not easy. So a few ideas I'd like to share with you. I think that one of the first places that people could look and should look is at what is it that they like to do? Like, what is it that they know that they can turn into dough? And I'll give you a real life example that we worked on with a member here. In the Facebook group that we have now, we used to do that pre-Facebook with just like coaching sessions, and that's the concept, is to do it digitally with Facebook. But this individual, we were in a meeting similar to this, and we were going through, well, what is it that you like to do and what is it that you can do? And it was really reduced to what she could do right now was sit around. And which because she had physical limitations and her energy level was low, but it was pretty consistent. So to fast forward this, she created a business called Sitting Around. And what Sitting Around does is it is a registered, bonded business where she will go to somebody's house and she will sit there and wait for the repairman to show up, for the cable man to come, you know, carpet cleaners, anything like that. She's even done some pet sitting, so that people do not have to take an entire day off of work to do that. That's her business, Sitting Around. Mm-hmm. So if you know, my encouragement is, and this is what Voc Rehab is supposed to do, but this is kind of out of the box by doing it on your own. In my opinion, what I've seen is a lot of people want to work, but going back to a traditional job environment is not a good fit. It just, the conditions don't allow it, and people are scared to death of losing their benefits. So if you can find something like that where there's very low barriers to entry and minimal, if any, startup cost, and you can start working on it, then that would be great. And here, if you're in the group and, you know, there's some way that we can support you in that brainstorming and the facilitating of doing that, love to do it. You know, especially if you can create a business like a Sitting Around business in Jacksonville, Florida, or, you know, in other places, and we can teach people to do it in Des Moines, Iowa, then we can make a difference together in making your situation, you know, more advantageous than somebody else's. So that offer holds for me. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing that I want to share with you is this is a gentleman that I follow online. His name is Gary Vaynerchuk. He has a very large YouTube presence. Is anybody familiar with him?
No.
No.
No. So there's a link there. And there's two areas where I feel that he can help people that want to earn income. In today's world that we live in, the internet has made it the barriers to entry really low for somebody to start and build a business by even, you know, starting a Facebook group, using social media and shooting videos. I was just following John Kohler, who is another individual that's on, not another, but an individual that's on disability that puts out, you know, frequent videos and messages to people that are in his niche. And, you know, it's something that most, I feel, or a lot of people could do it's conducive to their disability. And yeah, you have to learn, you know, how to shoot a video or how to write, but it is something that if you have a message and you're passionate about and you can get it out there, then that could be an avenue for you to start. And if you are working, for example, we have some referral partner relationships with people that have condition-related groups like fibromyalgia and lupus are two that come to mind, where they are advocating in these areas out there on the internet and in person, and they come across people that have needs, and those individuals that have needs, they refer them back to us. So we have we set up for the right individuals, we will set up a referral program when they refer us members that we can pay them to help them fund their business and get going. And of course, our membership is free, as I explained in the beginning, but we do make money and we advertise every day. So rather than advertising, we redirect those funds back. So if that's a path that somebody is listening, or you're in the audience today that you want to go, then just, you know, get in touch with us, get in the group, and we can talk about it. So the second piece with Gary V that's working is he has an episode or several episodes called Trash Talk. And we have used Trash Talk to help people finance their way through the disability approval process. And what Trash Talk is he shows people how he goes out in his local community and he goes to garage sales a day, 2 a week during the season, and he's buying low, and then he brings stuff home and he puts it online and he sells it. So we have members that do this as families that are going out and doing this. They're making $150, $200 a day and getting things. Sometimes they get a big hit. But if you can string that together for 3 or 4 weeks, times out of the month, then you've got something that works. So Gary Vee has taught thousands to do this. So that's something that, may be a fit for somebody, especially if you've got, certain areas of interest, things that you know about. Like he uses examples of where he's collected. He was a baseball card collector, and so he's used that skill set to go out in the marketplace and look. Okay, so there's another idea for you. We're always looking for people here. Well, not always, but especially now as our business is in the situation that it is, we have opportunities for people to work here at the Disability Digest. And we can't solve all of our members' financial needs, and the positions are not for everybody, but it may be a fit for some of you that are out there. But some of the things that we've learned from having our members as a significant influence in a majority of the workforce since 2007 is some things that work and some things that don't work. So on this link right here is there's 2 different types of positions that we have that are up at the moment that are published on this. One is a marketing assistant, which is administrative, and then there's the advocate position. And the advocate position is where there's the most opportunity for growth. These are individuals that work with us at home, and they are contacting our members, and they are working in teams, and one team of advocates is helping people go through the disability approval process, communicating our strategy to them, answering their questions, getting their case brushed up to increase their odds. So that's one team. The second team is a team of individuals that are benefit specialists, and they work with our members that are looking to, even members that are looking for housing information, looking to supplement their income. They help individuals make sure that where they're at in their current situation, in their current state, that they are capitalizing on all of the funds that are available to them. One thing that we have learned is that, and we're going to go through this in detail here in a few moments, but there's often opportunities that people have missed. They're not reviewing their benefits. They're not staying in tune with what's available in the marketplace. So those are the 2 different positions that we have here. Now we have, you can go in, apply, and go through the process, answer the questioning. We have advocates that work in those 2 different positions, and we go through the compensation and the culture and all of that. So if that's something of interest to you, we'd love to have you apply and check it out. All right. Christine, have you logged in by chance?
I am here, Brian.
Wonderful. Christine, welcome. This is Christine Reinhardt, who has worked here at the Disability Digest. First started working as a disability advocate. As a matter of fact, just the scenario that I went through. And now has helped our members go through their benefits, maximize their benefits, and uncovered, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars for people in helping them find benefits. So I've asked Christine to join us today for the next part of the presentation to go through some of the key areas where we have found that individuals are entitled to perhaps missing benefits. So Christine, I know this is an incredibly busy time. I know, but thank you for joining. I appreciate it.
No, thank you for inviting me, Brian. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I have this ABCD bullet list to go through, Christine,
Okay.
and then, perhaps we can talk about a few examples, and if somebody has questions in the audience, we can go through those as well. So
That's perfect.
would you like to cover the first hot topic that's up there?
For
Extra
the
help?
Medicare Extra Help? Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay, so if you qualify for Extra Help, you can save yourself what it says here, about $1,600 per year. And it's really a great thing to have. Your income has to be below $1,500 a month, and that's for individual. If you are a married couple, your income has to be below $2,500 a month in order to qualify for the Extra Help. This is a federal program, as it does come, strictly from Medicare. So what Extra Help does is it helps to save you with your prescription drugs that you are on. And really you can get a lot of savings with this. In fact, I even qualify for this program, and one of my medications will cost me around $75 a month, and with having the Extra Help, my prescription only costs me $8 a month. And so, I mean, that's just huge astronomical savings. So it really does make a difference when you can qualify for the Extra Help with your prescription medications.
So that's a great explanation, and actually the 1626 that's on the screen here, that amount is what you would save, or an individual would save, by not being charged the $135.50 for Medicare Part B. So the state picks that up. So in addition to that, is what you're saying, Christine, is that additional savings would be on the medication side.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay, so Christine, you said let's say if my benefits are $1,500 a month, then I wouldn't qualify?
Actually, I think it's like $1,525 that your income has to be below that. I usually average it at $1,500 because I know if your income is $1,500 or less, then you definitely would qualify for the program. But I think right now it's about $1,525.
And my husband, is that $25,000 a year?
It's $2,500 per month for the couple, for
together.
husband and wife.
Okay.
Yep. Yep, and I think it's even a little bit over that, but I generally market that at $2,500. So let's say your income would be maybe $26,000 for the couple. You very well may qualify for that. I just base it upon $25,000 because I know for sure if your income is at $2,500 or less, then I definitely know you would qualify for that program.
And do you know if they go by gross or do they go by actual what he makes?
No, it's gross.
It's gross. Okay.
Yeah, unless you're filing taxes, it would be your net.
Yeah.
A few other thoughts on this. This is a situation that happened yesterday in a conversation with a member. Was approved for disability and was received a lump sum, as I expect others of you in the audience have. And that lump sum of benefits that was first received was enough cash to disqualify from the extra help criteria. So with this individual, it went on for a while and wasn't aware of the program, but as those resources were spent down, then the respective states are not known for like knocking on your door and saying, hey, we'd like to pay for your Medicare Part B and your prescription help. So it's, when your income changes, especially after you get awarded and you have that windfall of cash that goes away, you should definitely pursue this. We have the directions here for those that want to apply. If you think I don't know, Christine, if somebody thinks they're on the fence, go for it, right? Why not?
Yes, absolutely. You know what? If you think that you're very close to $2,500 or you're like $100 or $200 over, I would still go ahead and either call them, and I have a toll-free number I can give you, or I would go to this website that Brian has and go ahead and apply for that. Let me give you that phone number so you guys have it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Medicare's toll-free number. It's 1-800-633-4227.
Mm-hmm.
And all you need to do is call Medicare and, just tell them that you would like to apply for extra help and you need help to do that, and they'll walk through the steps and they'll fill out all the information and they'll send your application through.
Mm-hmm. So we had somebody that was approved for extra help start to finish in like less than 2 weeks. Are you seeing the timetable any different, Christine?
Sometimes it does take a little bit longer than that. So most of the time people do have an answer back within 4 weeks. I wouldn't say it's more than that, but sometimes 2 weeks is jumping the gun just a little bit, so you do have to be a little bit patient with them, and especially during open enrollment.
Right. Okay, and for those of you that don't know what open enrollment is, it's actually the one time of year when, if you're on an Advantage plan, that you can change it. And it starts October 15th and ends on the 7th of December. So this is like peak season right now. So that's why I had to, be respectful of Christine's time to have her here because she's super busy.
That's okay, because I'm working on 2 of them right now. So
yeah, sure. So next, let's talk about some of the extra benefits, and I just want to. I want to share with you why, in my opinion, why these programs are doing what they're doing now. If you go out and put in your zip code into Medicare.gov and have a look around, you'll see that there is an abundance of plans that are available, which makes it really challenging for the consumer. But these companies, these private companies like Aetna, United Healthcare, Humana, small regional companies, they are paid to manage your health care if you get on a Medicare Part C plan. And the amount that they're paid is depending on the state and the area in the state, even down to the zip code, from what I've researched, and it varies between $10,000 and $14,000 a year. So they're doing this, they're making money at it, it's a growing area, and if they have a plan that they have put out, and that plan has got a certain amount of benefits in it, and the marketplace is getting more competitive, guess what they need to do to attract more customers? Anybody? Be more competitive. So what they're doing is
for the Medicare premium.
Yeah, it's we call it corporate bribery. but and so it's, and when I said at the top of this, it's one of the most interesting times, in my opinion, because we're seeing new benefits and more benefits that are added. So we're going to talk about some of those now. First of all, let's cover, and on this link here, on this 4B that's on the agenda, and this will be sent back to everybody that came here today. And so if you're watching the replay, you can go to this direct link. And there's a full video there that covers all the benefits, but we're going to hit some of the key ones. One of the first ones is shopping credits. Would you care to cover that? And I'll pull up an example.
Okay, sure.
Christine.
Shopping credits is where you have a credit of like dollars that you can either go into a store. Some of our plans will use Walgreens or Walmart, and you can go into like a Walmart and you have a certain amount of credit or money that you can spend, and it doesn't cost you anything to do that. You can also do this through like a booklet that the plan would send you, and it's all done, like online. And you can go to an online store and actually shop with your credits. Now, this is one of my examples that I wanted to, share with you today, so I'll go ahead and do that here.
Oh, perfect.
Working with a lady that one of our members that she actually, all she has is a prescription drug plan. She doesn't even have an Advantage plan. And so I was looking into the situation for our member, and what I came up with was being able to get her over-the-counter credit in $102 every 3 months. So every 3 months she can go either to the store or she can do it online, and she actually gets $102 of credit where she can buy certain supplies, like she can get vitamins, or she can get, bladder pads, or, whatever she, would buy over the counter, like Q-tips, things like that, you can use. And there's no charge for you to be able to use this plan. I mean, this is absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm. Toothpaste, toilet paper, suntan lotion,
yep.
stocking stuffers, all kinds of stuff.
All of that, yes.
Yeah.
Lip balm, that's a great stocking stuffer.
Right. So this plan that you're looking at is on the lower end of the amount. It's $25 every 3 months, but it just gives you an idea. And usually this is tucked away in the end of the plans when you have a look. So just that's one easy way to offset some household costs is to pick up a plan that's going to meet your needs there. Okay, so next let's talk about the Part B buyback or cash back. Is anybody in the audience currently on a plan like a 2019 plan that is paying them some cash back?
No.
Yeah, they're not a lot of people have jumped on it. So what's happened is there's this what they call a Part B buyback that is available on plans, and you can save anywhere from $600 to $900 a year, and I'll show you an example on this plan right here. Now, this plan here, I'll just scroll down to the section. This is $75 a month, so $900 a year, and it's a Part B reduction. So what happens is instead of the $135.50 that one pays, so that amount is reduced. So one of the strategies I encourage people to think about is if you qualify for extra help and your Part B is being paid for by the state, this benefit, they're not going to pay you another $75 back. This is just a reduction in your Part B premium. So it maybe a plan like this would fit for you, but if there's a Part B premium in here, usually that benefit is balanced out somewhere else in the plan, and it may be better to look for a comparable plan from the same company or another company that doesn't have the Part B buyback, that maybe has more shopping credits, for example, or the copay to go see a specialist is less. So some things to consider. Again, if you can't take advantage of the Part B buyback. But if you can, that's $900 a year. So this particular situation with this individual here was in Florida, was currently a customer on this same company. And he was a customer with them. This plan came out for 2020. All he did is change plans. All of his doctors were in the network, everything. There was basically, I don't know if there was a change except the Part B buyback. So my point comes back to companies are bringing out new variations of the plan every year to attract more customers. Now, if he had stayed on the other version of the plan, it wouldn't, I don't believe it would have transitioned into this, and he would have already, he would have just automatically seen the $75. So, by making the actual move and rolling into this plan is what was necessary for him. And boom, he picked up a savings. And so this individual's check is just over $1,100. So it'll make a pretty significant difference for him. So that is a benefit that you may want to consider looking for. I have one more thought on this, Christine, and then I'll turn it back to you to see if you have anything else to add. I think another variation that you need to consider here is, if you need a plan, if your health is not real stable, like we were working with somebody that was a cancer patient, and they was on like 16 different medications, and when you have a plan that has a Part B buyback, again, you might sacrifice a little in another area. So this individual said, listen, I just want to go with, the sure thing right now, and that had, more robust coverage. So that's another thing to consider. Shopping credits and Part B buybacks. Christine, anything else to add?
Actually, I have a couple questions for you, Brian. What I'm seeing is the buyback is more in Florida than it is in Texas. Are you seeing that as well?
No, actually, I have an example here from Texas, and thank you for bringing that up. This one is from Texas right here in the Dallas area, $50 a month.
Okay,
yep.
Okay. And then do you run into any that cover the whole $135.50?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Okay. So the buyback is basically where it will cover a portion of that $135.50.
Right. I've seen them as low as $40 and as high as the $75 that I just showed. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Awesome.
Right. I want to skip ahead a little bit to the.
I want to make one more point about the shopping credits.
Okay.
In some of the plans, the shopping credit is monthly, and some of the shopping credits are every quarter, every 3 months. So, when somebody's looking at a plan for you, you want to make sure that you understand that that's either monthly or quarterly.
Good point. Okay. Actually, no, I think I'm going to roll with what's on in order of the agenda.
Okay.
So, Christine, I know you've had people that have come to you specifically for this one benefit, the Silver Sneakers free gym membership.
Correct.
And what they're interested in doing. Could you share your experience with that and what the mindset is of individuals looking for this?
Well, first and foremost, the main members that are looking for silver sneakers are those that have TRICARE. So they are covered as a veteran and they have TRICARE. So with TRICARE, you specifically want to get them a plan that does not have prescription drug coverage, and then you can get them a plan that has the Silver Sneakers gym membership for them. You don't want to knock out any of the benefits that they have as a veteran, but you also want to make sure that they can qualify for the extra benefits. So they could also, get like the shopping credits and stuff like that, but they're specifically looking for the gym membership. A lot of veterans are looking for that specifically.
Right. Yeah. So the actually, I have an example. Well, I don't want to go into the. I'll just explain what happened. So I was working with an individual, David in Florida, who is on TRICARE for life. And if you don't know what TRICARE is, it's a great benefit program. It's for those that have been in the military, pretty much career military. It's different than just going to the VA for health care. It's for those that have this lifelong benefit package. And it really is. Pardon me?
If they're retired.
Retired, yes.
Retired. Mm-hmm.
So David, who contacted us, is a veteran, and he is in Florida, and he had contacted me for the same reason about the gym membership. He said, I spent $600 on my wife last year. David, I hope you don't mind if I share this story. But
no, go ahead.
No, actually, it was another David in Florida, so he said, and she went to the gym once. So he said she wants to go back to the gym, but I don't want to pay for it. What can you do for me? So anyway, there were plans in his area that had the free gym membership. So we could take advantage of that. And he's like, well, if it's free, maybe I'll go. And not only that, is it had a $600 a month Part B buyback. So that's $600 a month for him and $600 a month for his wife. So he gets 2 free gym memberships, and he gets the $120 a month back. That's tough to say no to by enrolling in a plan. So those are some of the things that's going on out there. It's pretty cool. Yeah. In the few minutes that we have left, are there any questions that we could take from those in the audience? Anything that you'd like to know more about?
I have a quick question, because I know you touched in it. This is the first month that I received my benefit.
Mm-hmm.
I was just approved. And I've been trying to get a hold of my representative, who hasn't gotten back to me. Just out of curiosity, when she talked about the lump sum that I could get,
mm-hmm.
did that take a while to get?
Well, so when you say you were just approved, the letter that you received, there's 2 letters that you received.
I only received one.
Okay.
I received my check. I found the check in my bank one morning, which was last Tuesday, and I didn't receive the letter until this past Saturday, telling me that I was approved, and it wasn't the full check. It was part of the check, and they said that the other part of the check was sent to my representative.
Okay. So here's what typically happens. Did you go to court?
I went to court in February, but I was denied. and then now they approved it.
Wow. Good for you. So
Yeah.
when you're approved after you've been to a hearing, the normal process is this: is you receive what's called a decision letter. It says, hey, the decision is you have been approved, and that is a decision from the Social Security judge. Then in that letter it says, we're going to send you another letter. And the second letter is called an award letter. And in the award letter, which my take is that's the one letter that you received, in the award letter it will say at the top, we found you disabled on a certain date. And then it will go on to say that you are entitled to benefits on this date, and then when you go down a little bit further below, it'll say you'll receive your first payment on this date, and like on the second or the third page, it'll explain like how much money is going to be paid to you in back benefits and your representative. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I didn't get any of that. So all I got was the first one just saying what I got the first time and then what I'm going to get going forward.
So then what I would suggest is either go to your Social Security online account, either log into it or create one.
Okay, I got one.
You do go in there and look for the most recent letter. And if you can get that letter, that will help you understand or it will tell you when you're Medicare eligible. If you'd like one of us to, once you get your hands on that, to go through it with you on the phone, be glad to do it. It's something that we do.
So is there a possibility, have you ever heard, because I actually applied in 2016. I only went to court once, and then they denied me, like I said, in February. Has anybody ever applied and never gotten a lump sum?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So that has happened.
Your case, I think it would be very long odds that you would not get a lump sum, and sometimes the lump sums get held up.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever heard this, but Social Security doesn't operate to 100% accuracy, unfortunately.
Okay.
If it did, I'd be doing something else for a living and be totally fine.
And it'd be, I'm just happy that they gave me this, even if I don't get the lump sum. I mean, it'd be nice to have it to pay off everything because, when you haven't worked since 2016 because of your problem, things start accumulating and you get bills. But so now, as far as Medicare goes, from what they told me in the letter, I have to wait 2 years.
Well, see, I'm not certain of that, and until you get your letter, it's going to be difficult to pinpoint your date because it is a 2-year wait, but it's a 2-year wait from the day that you were proven disabled. So if the 2016 date held up, you would be Medicare eligible like now.
Okay.
And there's some steps that you can do, to get coverage like right away. Probably the beginning of the beginning of December would be more realistic because the end of the month is now. But yeah. So if you'd like, I'll provide you with a number that you can call once you get your letter, or you can text us at the 4848. But if you want to jot down a phone number and give us a call, it's 844.
Okay.
210.
Okay.
6382.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I should receive another letter.
Well, I think you received your award letter. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
What you're explaining to me is you went to court and you said that the judge denied it, they appealed it, and then it got awarded, my take is you just received an award letter from what you're explaining to me. But
yeah.
until one of us actually goes through and reviews the verbiage with you, it's difficult to be certain.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So I
congratulations
can call you
on getting approved. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep. Our pleasure. Nice to have you here. Okay. Any other questions before we close out?
Yeah, I got a few, Dave or Brian.
Sure.
In relation to the young lady's comments about the Medicare.
Yeah.
You said for the day that it was determined to be disabled, correct?
Right.
Okay, so my letter, which I only got one letter, that was the official award letter. That was last year, but they found me disabled back in November of 16 when I went out of work for my back.
Okay.
So basically, I shouldn't wait for anything from Medicare. I should do my own phone call.
You don't have your cards?
No. Around November 16th, I think is, November 16th was the day that was my disabled day.
Okay, tell me this again. November 16th of what year?
2017.
So that would mean that, it's like now, coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
he should get his cards by the middle of November.
You should have gotten your cards. Some people have not received their cards.
Okay, so that'll automatically be sent to me then.
Well, no.
Okay.
It should. But I've actually just had this situation happen where somebody actually was eligible but did not get their cards. So I would follow up on that. Yeah.
Okay, just call Medicare.
Yeah. You for sure. Unless Christine, you have any other ideas?
No, I would call Medicare and confirm when you are going to be eligible for Medicare.
Okay.
You should be eligible by the middle of November, and I would want to know ahead of time so I know what to expect.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
And the other thing was that lump sum discussion. Like I said, when we discussed earlier before everybody came in, I use my disability company that disability insurance company that my work company was using. They had a company called Allsup who got me my award.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like I said, this was in 2018. I got backdated to the date of November 16, 2017, and paid a lump sum for that time period. Now, from what I understand, though, if you use an outside source to assist you, they take 10% of your award as payment for their assistance.
So there's one known Social Security disability fee structure for attorney, non-attorney representatives. And that structure is 25% of whatever back benefits are recovered.
Okay. Well, like I said,
capped at $6,000.
Right. Well, luckily, my disability company, it was 100% free with Allsup to file this disability for me.
Uh-huh.
Because I guess they want to get me off of their disability pay. Because what they did is once I got Social Security, they took back what they already paid me, what my lump sum was, and then they reduced my disability from them by the amount that I received from Social Security. Because I can't make over a certain amount. If I make more than what they're giving me a month, then they take that back to where the two added together equals what I would be paid by them.
So for example, this is a common situation. Let me get my head together on this. Let's say that your long-term disability amount is $2,000 a month, for sake of example, and your Social Security disability amount is $1,500 a month. So while you're going through the approval process, you're getting the $2,000 a month. Then when you get approved, you're now getting $1,500 from Social Security, so your long-term disability company only pays you the difference of $500. That's what happened?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So and there are some instances where long-term disability policies will pay out beyond 2 years. Is that what you were saying, David? Is that yours?
Yeah, as far as I know, they're gonna. I don't know when it's gonna end. I mean, it's all in the contract.
Some are till. I know people have had them till they're 65. Some people have them till death. So it's tucked away in the fine print somewhere in the plan. But if you do have one that continues to pay, you're good for you, because there are few and far in between that we see.
Yeah, every little bit helps.
Sure. And so are you saying that there are income restrictions that are put on you from your long-term disability company?
Yeah.
Okay. So even though the Social Security regulations allow you to earn a certain amount, there's another set of standards which
overrides that.
Right. I don't know what they are. Okay. I got you. Interesting.
I'm assuming that is different between one long-term to another?
Yeah, according to the standard, who's my long-term disability, they said it's all in how the company that hires them writes the contract.
Right.
Because they're still paying for that.
Well, right, because there's different long-term disabilities from company to company. And I just had a friend go through this where she called me and wanted to know if she should actually pick up long-term disability through her company that she works for. And, she didn't feel that she needed that. And I said, yes, you do need that. I said, if something happens, you're in a car accident or something happens where you're not able to work anymore and it's not a workman's comp case, you need something to back you up long term.
Yeah. That is one of the biggest challenge for people going through the approval process, David and Luana and Christine, is that period of time between when they are out of work until when they get their first check. Now, David, you were approved quickly, which is great, but that's just not common, unfortunately.
Oh, I was surprised, because I mean, I've read the horror stories, and it's like I say, within 2 weeks max, I get the letter, and it's like, whoa.
Yep.
But now, I guess presentation, because I had to fill out long forms of all these questions. My wife had to do the same thing without talking to me. She had to describe the effects of my disabilities on my life. That was all sent to ALSUP. They put the package together and presented it.
Yeah. Some conditions are easier to understand than others. So, for example, if you have a structural issue, which, as you explained to me, you do with your back, that is different than somebody that has an autoimmune condition like a lupus or a fibromyalgia, where it's more where it's subject to the judgment of somebody to interpret the medical records. So that makes a difference for sure.
Yeah, like I said, I'm fused from T12 all the way down to S1.
Yeah, I mean,
and my neck's about the neck surgery, but
right, right. And when somebody looks at your medical records, I mean, unless they're totally botched, I mean, it's got to be just glaringly apparent of what your limitations would be. So,
well, I haven't missed a year yet of not being in the hospital for surgery of some kind for a long time.
Wow.
I mean, I was meeting my insurance deductible within the first 2 months of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Huh. So
now,
crazy.
One more thing. I don't have TRICARE. I'm not, I would say retired. I do have VA health, though.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I get to Medicare, I still have a choice on what package, correct? As far as when they, okay.
Yeah.
Now, is any way somebody can help me figure out the balance between the two?
Yeah, that's what Christine and others do here is.
I do have a lot of medical that I'm not able to, deal with right now because of the insurance I have through the health marketplace. Yes, they cover the payments for me, pretty much, but my deductible was outrageous. I had to pay basically everything until I reached $6,000. So I'm not able to go to the back doctor. I'm not able to go to pain management. I can't get back on my immune therapy that I'm supposed to be on. I can't really do anything, and VA can only do so much.
So the steps would be are very similar to Luana. Is find out your Medicare eligibility date, and then call the same number that I provided Luana, and then the process of getting this right is getting what your goals are. Christine, chime in anytime. What your goals are, what your doctors are that you really want to keep, and what your medications are, and then lining those up with what plans that are out there. So, like, if you look in any moderately populated market, you're going to see anywhere from 25 plus plans to.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Most of the time I'm looking between 20 and 30 plans. And what I also collect is the county and zip code. I have to have that in order to get into the plans to see what's available, along with the list of doctors and the medications.
Yeah.
That's a lot of medications.
Yeah.
Now, on that on the note of the medications, if I go through the VA and I'm on Medicare, can I get them to pick up the rest of, like, VA still charges me, not, at a reduced rate, of course, but would I be able to get Medicare to pick up what they don't pay?
Yes, David.
Medicare
you
would be the primary, wouldn't it? If you're just using VA.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Which one becomes primary? Because the VA says that really their health care is just there. It's independent. I can use either or.
Right.
But what is Medicare? What will Medicare look at as far as, I understand if it was TRICARE, yes, TRICARE I'd make primary anyways. But between VA health and Medicare.
Yeah, so we just actually, and we have some information from a veterans executive on this, that Medicare becomes your primary.
Okay.
Yeah. And for you and for TRICARE recipients as well.
Okay. So that's going to be interesting to figure out.
Yeah.
But I would say for David that he should probably, check with the VA and figure out which medications they will, cover and what the cost would be. And then you can also look at the Medicare side and figure out, what your plan will cover as far as the prescriptions go of, what the VA doesn't cover.
Yeah, because I know some of my prescriptions are pretty costly, like Eliquis and Cymbalta are outrageous, and even with discounts, they're still high. So yeah, I do have quite a few medications. I need to balance and see who's the cheapest.
What I can also say is, and this is what I tell people all the time, is even though you have prescription drug coverage with your Medicare, or you can get your prescriptions through the VA, you can still use GoodRx. It's great. It'll still give you a discount, even if you are going through one of your Advantage Plan programs for your prescriptions.
Hey,
okay. I know about the program, but I always thought it didn't work with an insurance. I thought it was like an independent. It's therefore if you didn't have insurance.
Either way.
Okay.
Either way.
So I'm sorry, my call dropped, and I don't know if you covered it by the time I got back in. So if I'm under my husband's insurance right now, I can also get Medicare to, cover things like...
Is your Medicare, I'm sorry, is your husband working or retired?
Yes. No, he's working.
Okay. So if a spouse is working and you have insurance through that spouse, then that insurance is primary and your Medicare becomes secondary.
Okay. So I can get Medicare as secondary to help with, the co-pays and stuff like that.
That's the way I understand it, yes.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. This has been very helpful. I really appreciate you guys.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you. Thanks for coming out. So, all right. So I'm gonna close out for the day today, but I thank you for taking the time to come out here. Hopefully you found some value in this, and as mentioned, we did record this, and we'll send the replay back around with this website and all the resources so that you can take advantage of it. And again, for those of you listening that need help, if you're going through the approval process, you can call us at 844-202-5609 or text 484848. If you're already approved, then you can reach this another group at 844-210-6382, and we'll help you out.
Now, Brian, with that 6382, what is the best time to call that number to go over the letter that I received?
Well, you can call anytime during regular business hours, East Coast time. Yeah. And
okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you miss us or we're on the line, which we commonly are this time of year, we'll get right back to you. Okay?
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right. Good. Thank you, everybody. Thanks again for taking the time.
Thanks.
Till the next time.
Have a good day, guys.
Be well.
Okay, bye-bye.